Today we're playing Mythic Battles Pantheon solo using the Nemesis system. The bot I'm going against is Hades on the hardest difficulty, so I'm hoping I don't get thrashed as it's been a while since I last played, about 6 months, but he has brought along Echidna, Heracles, Agathos, the Toxotai and some Infernal Hounds. Whilst I'm using one of the April draft armies, and so I've got Persephone, the Dragon of Thebes, Bellerophon, Echo, the Infernal Artilleryman, and Myrmidons. We're on the River of Styx map, and this is where we've put our troops, with a lot of Omphalos stuck in the north. So it should be carnage up there. Either way, let's get on with the game. For my first turn, I deploy the Dragon of Thebes in the north, and the bot deploys Agathos. I then decide to run the Infernal Artilleryman as I want to try and claim down here before they get picked off. And it's almost like the bot is psychic as the Toxotai activate and kill 2 of my Infernal Artillerymen. So I deploy Bellerophon down the south in the hopes he can be a bit of a distraction, as the bot deploys Heracles up north. I, of course, top deck the Bellerophon card, though with Friend of the Muses, so soon charge the Toxotai with his 3 movement and kill 4 of them in combat. They are unfortunately the bot unit which can respawn though. The bot draws an Art of War, so gets 2 turns, firstly running the Infernal Hounds towards the Omphalos, which they will destroy when they get chance. And then a juicy target for Bellerophon pops up almost beside him as Echidna deploys onto the board. I top deck a Persephone as I'd used an Art of War to draw 2 last time, so I soon deploy her onto the board, and after using an Art of War, I also activate the Infernal Artilleryman, picking up the Omphalos and moving towards her. Not one to be outdone though, Hades himself then pops up in the middle of the board. Seeing the monster, Bellerophon flies straight at Echidna, but even with his monster slaying skills, he only causes 2 wounds. And then I discard an Art of War to run the Myrmidons over the rift and try to fight over the north. The bot draws an Art of War, so Agathos moves towards the closest unclaimed Omphalos. And then Echidna attacks Bellerophon and causes 1 wound, so he is unfortunately poisoned, and I have no Art of War cards left in hand. Yes, he will suffer another wound from the poison, but I need this guy for his speed, and so with only 1 card left after it this turn, I decide to move Bellerophon and claim the Omphalos. I already have his last card in hand, so I should be able to get him to Persephone at least soon. Agathos activates for the bot though, and with nothing around him in reach of an attack, he destroys the first Omphalos of the game. I need to start acting a little bit faster up north, so I run the Dragon of Thieves over the rift. The bot gets another Agathos card, so runs into the swamp to get near the Omphalos, but now he's stuck there. I top deck an Art of War, so move Bellerophon with his last card, drop the Omphalos by Persephone, and use my Art of War to remove the poison. The Infernal Hounds activate for the bot next though, and they just destroy the Omphalos they are standing next to, meaning they take a 2-0 lead. And I can do nothing about it right now as I've got a lot of Echo cards in hand, and so it's time to deploy her, I guess. The bot draws another Art of War, so gets to activate both Heracles and Echidna. Neither can attack, so they both run towards the nearest Omphalos, and my Infernal Artillerymen are now in danger. I keep hoping to get some Artilleryman cards, but all I get is Persephone, so at least I can absorb an Omphalos to make it 2-1. The Toxotai then activate and fire at my Infernal Artillerymen, but they have more jam than Heartleys it seems as I roll 3 blanks. I decide to move Persephone 2 spaces towards the middle, and then I utilise my Omphalos card to move the Dragon of Thebes and claim an Omphalos. With Hades seeing what I've got planned and running towards the Omphalos in the middle. But that has now given me a great attack opening with the Dragon of Thebes, who, with a range attack, moves towards the middle and causes 3 wounds to Hades. I might need that with Echidna blocking the artilleryman and meaning I might not win the Omphalos collection race. And my fears become a reality as Echidna activates and just slaughters my remaining artillerymen, meaning they have 2 opportunities to now claim Omphalos unchallenged. I need to change my tactics here. And so I firstly move my Myrmidons into the swamp to hopefully claim the Omphalos soon and delay tactics. Hades though activates and charges the Dragon of Thebes because of his torment ability, but that is negated by the ruins, and so it means he only causes 2 wounds. I then finally top deck an Art of War, probably my last until deck refresh, and it means I can move Echo and attack Echidna with her powerful Howl, causing 2 wounds and knocking Echidna down to just 4 health. The Infernal Hounds activate for the bot, and since they had 2 options to move towards Omphalos, I rolled for both options and they headed towards the Agathos area. I then decided to move Persephone into the centre and I tried to attack Hades, but as he'd regained a wound from my artilleryman dying, he now had an extra defence and I whiffed majorly, regretting my choices in life straight away. The Toxtai activate for the bot and they try to fire at the Dragon of Thebes but whiff yet again. So I now activate the Myrmidons, claiming the Omphalos and trying to delay as best I can as I reshuffle my deck and hope for some Art of War cards pretty soon. Heracles runs towards Hades though, and I'm now worried for Persephone as he is a big heavy hitter with block, so now all I can do is try to kill Hades to win. And that starts with Persephone attacking Hades and causing 2 wounds. I literally rolled 2 5s twice on her dice, so Hades is now on 6 wounds. There's potential here to win, so long as we get some Dragon of Thebes cards. Heracles activates again and of course smashes Persephone, but whiffs on his wound rolls, and so only causes 1. Bellerophon is back in the fight though after his little breather, and he soon charges at Echidna, causing 3 wounds and leaving her on 1 health. We know she has a card left somewhere, so we need to kill her pretty fast. The bot draws an Art of War though, surprising me, and gets Hades for his first activation, but as he's wounded he is a bit weaker on the attack for now and causes 1 wound to Persephone, as it's now God on God action. Agathos is next up to activate though, and he attacks the Myrmidons, basically killing them with relative ease and leaving the Omphalos ready to destroy. I of course get the Bellerophon card from my top deck and I do decide to kill Echidna, but Hades has just regained 2 wounds and it seems like I'm fighting a bit of a losing battle here. As they draw an Art of War, so the Hounds destroy the Omphalos, meaning it's now 3-1 to them, and all that's left really is the fight in the midfield. And a rejuvenated Hades activates next, smashing Persephone and causing 2 wounds, making me realise I made a grave mistake getting greedy and trying to go for the kill. So we're in squeaky bum territory here as I attack Hades back with Persephone and cause 2 wounds, utilising her leader ability for the first time that I felt I needed to, and I also attack Hades with the Dragon of Thebes, causing just 1 more wound, and that means Hades is now on just 4 health. The Toxtai suddenly discover their target and hit the Dragon of Thebes twice, meaning he also now has the only 4 health. What a brutal melee this is turning out to be, as I just realised the sodding dragon had a guard and should be protecting Persephone from attacks. Bloomin' heck, too late now. as I activate the last dragon card I've got in hand and deal 2 wounds to Hades, meaning he only has 2 health remaining. Heracles now activates, and of course I guard with the dragon, now I remember it, but Heracles is pretty strong and he causes 2 wounds, meaning the dragon has 2 health left. I of course have bad card draws though, and so can only activate Bellerophon, who instantly charges over and kills the Toxotai. Heracles then activates and of course slaughters the Dragon of Thebes, which means Hades has 4 health once again, and the Sporotai pop up where the Dragon of Thebes died. I have no real moves to do, I'm literally relying on cards for Persephone now, so I just move Echo closer with the Omphalos. They draw an Art of War, so get 2 activations, and sodding both of them are Heracles and Hades. I really do need to work on my shuffling, but combined they both manage to kill the guarding Sporotai, and now finally we have an opening, even if Hades has gone back up to 5 health. So Bellerophon jumps into the combat and attacks Hades, meaning we get 3 wounds, and he will be a nuisance with Guard and Pegasus, reducing their offense. And we know that his last card is now on top of our deck for next turn, so we could pull this out the bag here, as Agathos runs out of the swamp and goes towards Echo. But in the end, Bellerophon, my new favourite unit in this game, in drawing his card to the top, meant he was free to attack Hades, and he ended up causing 4 wounds, easily killing him and winning us the game. What an outcome, eh? This game is just sensational and brings such jubilation like that from time to time for me. My heart was racing and I was genuinely perplexed with what to do at times, as I just felt like everything was stacked against me when I charged Persephone into the middle. Very stupidly, I might add, but it seemed to work out in the end. And yes, it has been 6 months or so since I last played, so it showed with me forgetting a couple of traits like guard. In my weak defense, I'll say it was down to my poor eyesight with the small text, and it can all meld into one word at times when they have 3 traits all stuck together. And I also forgot that when they gain Omphalos cards, they go on top of their deck. Again, lack of playing error, and I don't know what happened with the cards at the end. But it's great fun regardless, and this is probably my favourite skirmish game I own. It's tough because I feel Super Fantasy Brawl is also still great, and it's no wonder why I paid the 6 seed ransom when Mythic created 2 games, which are obviously my 2 favourite board games of all time now, but I need to play more of this and create more videos, as there's just not many out there. Tabletop versions anyway. People seem to play this on TTS, it seems, and it's just not the same, is it? Maybe I'll do a how to play solo one next, as a few people don't realise Monolith created the Nemesis system to do so. I'm going to do that one straight after this though, so depending on whenever I upload this, that one might have gone up first. Let's see what happens, and until then, thanks for watching.